All right, buddy, tell me what it was like in the Danny Parkins New York City penthouse, the final minute 43 seconds of that wild Bears game.
Oh, the penthouse views. It's like, do I look at Central Park or do I look at the Freedom Tower? Which way do you look? It's so tough to be me. But no, it's the basement in suburbia. Thank you for asking, Lou. No, that was a wild game from the opening kickoff being returned by the Bengals to maybe the most frustrating special teams day in Bears history to a truly special Ben Johnson game. I mean, the first touchdown is a Ben Johnson special. The second touchdown is a Ben Johnson special. Then Loveland gets going. Caleb gets going. The Bengals defense is bad. The Bears defense is bad. Like that's not one where I think you're sending the tape to the Hall of Fame, but it's one that we're not going to forget anytime soon. So I know Ben Johnson said he was pretty stoic throughout that game and pretty even keeled. I was not. I was an emotional wreck.
I think all us fans were. Hey, listen, I was following you on Saturday night as well during Game 7 of the World Series on Twitter. What was better, starting with DJ Moore's touchdown, thanks to replay, putting the Bears up 41-27, and from that point to the end of the game, or Game 7 of that World Series?
Oh, well, listen, I mean, obviously for my rooting interest, it's the Bears, but that's one of the all-time World Series ever, I think the stakes attached to a Game 7 make that the better, more memorable sporting event. And, Cubs fans were always going to remember Game 7 of 2016. I was in Kansas City covering the Royals World Series in 2014 and 2015. The 2014 World Series against Royals Giants went to 7 games, and I was at that one, and that was the Madison Bumgarner 5-inning save after he dominated games 1 and 5. So I thought Yamamoto, I thought that was the best postseason performance I had seen by a pitcher since Madison Bumgarner in 2014. You got to feel for Blue Jays fans. A couple inches away on the play at the plate, the outfielders colliding, the 18-inning game, thinking that shot off Vlad Guerrero's bat went out. Losing Game 6 and 7 at home after being up 3-2, that is about as excruciating of a loss as any sports fan could ever endure.
I couldn't agree more, man. It was unbelievable, even for an old guy like me. I want to get back to the Bears. Winning in the NFL, it's not easy. Just ask the Lions and Packers today. And I get it. Bears special teams, it was especially bad. The defense was atrocious. But Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Dan, these guys have made other defenses look really bad all season long, or at least for sure the last 3-4 games. But Chase and Higgins over the course of their career, Flacco for that matter as well. Is this the NFL today? Limit your bad days and believe you can win every game you play?
Yeah, I think basically what you're saying is correct. I think there are a few teams at the top that are great, and when they play each other, it feels really special. Like Chiefs Bills felt really special, and then I think there are a few teams at the bottom that tend to be really awful, but you can get out of that fast, right? Because we're not too far removed from saying that Carolina was in that group and they just beat Green Bay and are a really consistently top 10 rushing team in the NFL, to your point. And then there's a huge middle class. And I think the Bears are in that middle class where on any given day, they can look like the 24th best team in the NFL or the 7th best team in the NFL. And I don't think that there's much of a gap between whoever is the 7th best and whoever is the 24th best.
Yeah,
it's a big middle class.
I'm with you there. I'm with you. That's a great point. The rookie class finally chipped in. Who are you more pleasantly surprised with, Colson Loveland or Kyle Monangai?
Well, listen, Monangai from where he was drafted was the revelation. Like you trade Khalil Herbert for a 7th round pick and then use a 7th round pick on a running back who's better than Khalil Herbert. Like that's good general managing. Like that's churning the bottom of your roster. That's maximizing assets, which are basically lottery tickets at best. Throwing darts blind, which is what 6th and 7th round picks are. So I think Monangai, for just like overall health of process, it was pretty great. But Loveland matters more. Like Loveland was a Ben Johnson pick. They took Loveland over Tyler Warren, and he hadn't shown up. Partly due to injury, partly due to new scheme, partly due to chemistry with Caleb Williams, a bunch of reasons. But the fact that he showed up in a big way in the clutch, I think that is like the more significant, like, okay, that validates the resource type of thing. Not that one play validates the resource, but like you saw it. Like you saw tight end, breakaway speed, playmaking ability. Like I think that was a special moment.
I like the way you broke that down. Cincinnati, worst defense in football without question.
Yeah, that's right.
17 missed tackles. You're Ben Johnson this morning. You're thinking ahead to the Giants game next Sunday. Let's say DeAndre Swift is healthy enough to come back and play. Who's your featured running back?
I think that you start with DeAndre Swift and you go into the game totally willing to ride the hot hand. And that is, as my guy Marlo Stanfield in The Wire would say, one of them good problems. Like, they say if you have two quarterbacks, you have none. That is not the case with running backs. Like you want to have options. You want to have multiple running backs. So I thought DeAndre Swift was, he looked good against Washington. He looked good against the Saints. So I don't think that against the worst defense in the NFL, Monangai did something that would necessitate me benching Swift and saying that like 20 touches go to Monangai and 4 go to Swift. But I think you go into the game treating it like we're going to ride the hot hand and we're going to keep our running backs fresh. And then by the fourth quarter, who's ever having the better game and having more success, they become the featured back over the course of the game.
Still way too early to say that Johnson's found his Sonic and Knuckles, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. Because
I'm
I
jumping at it.
Yeah. Gibbs is really, really special. Like Gibbs, and we all know in Chicago what David Montgomery can do. He's a very, very good player as well. So yeah, that's a little premature, but do it against better defenses. Like they're gonna get the chance to prove that they can be a great running team.
No, they're gonna get the chance twice against the Packers. Two-part question: did you like the trick plays? Number one, and when Ben Johnson went into that big bag of tricks, did you like that as well?
Did anyone not? Is that maybe I'm too removed? Like I think trick plays are the ultimate Monday morning quarterback thing. Like if they worked, you love them. If you didn't work, you don't. And that's the luxury of being fans and why we're not being paid 8 figures to call the plays. Like Ben Johnson can live with that level of scrutiny, as unfair as it might be, but the Bears needed to put up a ton of points. They knew it. Like they knew it going in. Like we've seen Detroit talk about that a lot. Dan Campbell would talk about it like, I told Jared Goff, we're going to be going for it on 4th down in this spot because we know the other team's offense is going to give our defense trouble. Like it sounds like from listening to Caleb postgame that him and Ben Johnson had similar conversations. They knew it was going to be a shootout. They needed to fix their red zone situation. They needed touchdowns instead of field goals. And so I think Ben Johnson felt inclined to go to more of those trick plays because of their red zone struggles. Not that all of them were called in the red zone, but like the goal was big plays and the goal was touchdowns. So in a game where you knew you were going to need to score 35 plus to win and it ended up needing 43 plus, I had no problem with it. I thought they were great.
I've been screaming for it. The Bears finally won a game because of Caleb Williams at the end, right?
Yeah, no question, right? I mean, listen, that was an incredible moment for Caleb. Listen, anytime you can do something that no player in NFL history has ever done, which is throw for 3 touchdowns, run for 50 or more yards, and catch 2 or more passes, literally no one ever has done it before, you had a special day at the office, which is what Caleb Williams did. But Lou, I know you'll like this. Lower the threshold, lower it from 3 passing touchdowns to 2 passing touchdowns. The last player in NFL history to throw for 2 touchdowns, run for 50 plus yards, and catch 2 or more balls, Walter Payton in 1983.
Wow, I like that nugget.
Yeah. So Caleb was great in the fourth quarter. I believe that's 3 go-ahead drives, right, in the fourth quarter in 3 of his last 5 games. He's done it on the road now. I think Caleb very clearly, has that it factor, has that swag. He is very comfortable in those situations. Still got to hit the layups, still have to work on accuracy, still have to work on footwork, still have to work on timing. Like it's not a finished product, but there's no doubt in my mind that he's not afraid of the moment.
Yeah, I love that Ben Johnson told his team in that post-game celebration, hey man, if we're in it in the fourth quarter, the other side better look out. I want to talk about the defense before I lose you here. Defense desperately needs a better pass rush, man. Montez Sweat, he had a pretty good game. Austin Booker made things happen when he got in there. No pass rush is not good enough to help this beat-up secondary right now. Trade deadline is tomorrow, Tuesday, Danny. Are you trading for a pass rusher if you're Ryan Poles?
No, if you can give away one of those lottery tickets and get someone real, sure. But I think we saw now the Eagles had to give up a third-round pick to get Jalen Phillips, and he's coming off of 2 serious leg injuries. So that show tells me that the price is high for the buyers. There's a report that the Bengals still want a first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson, even though he isn't under contract next year and can't be tagged. That's crazy. So no, I think the Bears are a flawed team. I think, this past year we saw them, use the majority of their draft resources on the offensive side of the ball with Loveland and Burden and an offensive lineman in 3 of their first 4 picks. My guess is this draft we see the other thing. We see 3 of their top 4 picks or so go, front 7, and even more specifically on the defensive line. Like, it's not a perfect team. If you had Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon, you'd have a little bit better coverage in the back end, which would help your pass rush a little bit more. It's complementary for sure, but injuries are a part of it. But no, I don't think you rob Peter to pay Paul at this point. They're not good enough to be selling assets from the future.
8 games in. Where are the Bears on the Parkins playoff meter?
I'd say like 60-40 against. Like I'd say like most likely the schedule gets too tough and they've got too many flaws in order to make it, but they got a real shot. We talked about this, get through the Giants game at 6-3. Like if you are 6-3 and 7 teams make the playoffs in the NFC, you've given yourself a little margin for error where you just need to pull off one surprising game. And we saw it last year. Like, the Bears won in Lambeau in Week 18. The Bears played the Lions tough in both games and got them in one and could have gotten them on Thanksgiving. The Bears could have beat the Vikings last year when they lost that game in overtime and Caleb scored 27 and passed for 340. Like, the Bears can win as an underdog. We've seen it this year. So, you get to 6-3. And when we talk next week, I think I'll be saying that the Bears are 50-50 to make the playoffs.
All right, I'm going to keep asking on the Parkins playoff meter as we continue. Danny, thanks as always for joining us on a Monday. Enjoy the week. We'll talk after the Bears-Giants game, buddy.
Lou, it's a highlight of my week, man. Great talking to you. And if nothing else, this team is wildly entertaining. Like, it is an entertaining brand of football, so I'm here for it.
Especially coming off of yesterday. Always great to have Danny Parkins on from Fox Sports 1, First Things First.